Hello and welcome back to Road TRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. It is Friday, that means it's time for Trebek's Trivia. This is Trebek Trivia number 18. This will be 20 questions with a question 21 tiebreaker that all come from the television show Jeopardy. The only difference is these questions have been made longer and you can answer in the form of an answer, not in the form of a question. Good luck. Question 1. What was the name of the American actor who starred in several television series including popular roles such as Brett Maverick in the 1950s Western series Maverick and as Jim Rockford in the 1970s private detective show The Rockford Files? His name was James Garner. Question 2. A unit of land area used in the imperial and U.S. customary systems. What is the term traditionally defined as the area of 1 chain by 1 furlong, which is exactly equal to 10 square chains, or 1/640th of a square mile? The answer is an acre. Question 3. Recalling a poem by Carl Isidor Beck, Johann Strauss II was inspired by the beauty of what waterway that flows from the Black Forest into the Black Sea to write what is now one of the world's most famous and beloved of all waltzes? The answer is the Danube River. Question 4. In her opening event in her first ever Olympic Games, during her 30-second routine on the uneven bars at the 1976 Montreal Olympics, what 14-year-old Romanian gymnast became the first ever Olympic athlete to score a perfect 10? Her name was Nadia Comaneci. Question 5. Originally founded in 1933, what is the name of the weekly news magazine that was acquired by the Washington Post Company in 1961, under whose ownership it remained until 2010, when it was sold to billionaire Sidney Harmon for $1? The answer is Newsweek. Question 6. Musicians have long believed that the quality and the sound of the instrument is superior to other violins. What is the name of the family company that produced the rare, state-of-the-art violins owned by both Jack Benny and Sherlock Holmes? The answer is Stradivarius. Question 7. Printing millions of them every day, what private, family-owned company based in Kansas City, Missouri was founded in 1910 and is in the Hall of Fame as the oldest and largest manufacturer of greeting cards in the United States? The answer is Hallmark. Question 8. Until Jackie Joyner-Kersee came along and took the top spot, what female athlete who competed in track and field events and golf, baseball, tennis, and many other sports was widely considered the top female athlete of all time? The answer is Babe Didrikson. Question 9. On what type of common musical instrument would you most likely find someone playing flams, drags, double and triple radamocues, and all manner of paradiddles? The answer is the drums. Question 10. Jim Nabers played one of the most popular characters on U.S. television in the 1960s. What was the name of his earnest, simple-minded gas station attendant who became a U.S. Marine? The name of that character was Gomer Pyle. Question 11. Indicating that the music is to be played slowly or a composition intended to be played in the same manner, what is the Italian term for very slow? Samuel Barber wrote a famous one for strings. He wrote adagio for strings. The answer is adagio. Question 12. What was the name of the real-life American artist who founded dance schools in France, Germany, and Russia, but was played by British actress Vanessa Redgrave in a 1968 film about her life? The movie was called Isadora. Her name was Isadora Duncan. Question 13. Its clocks and watches are at least an order of magnitude more accurate than mechanical clocks. What is the name of the timepieces that use an electronic oscillator and are named for the vibrating crystal that runs them? They are known as quartz clocks or quartz watches. Question 14. Shortened from the French phrase meaning master of the hotel, what is the name of the person who would normally greet you upon arrival and seat you at your table at a high-end or a fancy restaurant? The answer is the maitre d'. Question 15. Despite being canceled after only 5 seasons, the late 1970s television show Charlie's Angels is best remembered for the original tough-as-nails trio of Jacqueline Smith, Kate Jackson, and what third actress who played Jill Monroe? The answer is Farrah Fawcett. Question 16. It didn't come from Holland, and most people in Holland don't know about it, but the American writer Mary Maples Dodge wrote Silver Skates, the legend of what boy who saved Holland from flooding by putting his finger in the dike? The answer is Hans Brinker. Question 17. Home to the group of 3 waterfalls at the southern end of the Niagara Gorge, the city of Niagara Falls, the one on the American side, is the largest suburb of what major city's metro area in the state of New York? Niagara Falls is a suburb of Buffalo. Question 18. What is the name of the American artist that was best known for his innovation of the mobile suspended sheet metal and wire assemblies that are activated in space by air currents? Those were called mobiles, and Alexander Calder is the most famous mobile artist. Question 19. In the 1984 Olympic Games that were hosted in Los Angeles, California, the U.S. women's team lost the gold medal match 3-0 to China in what sport where each player plays each position? The answer is volleyball. Question 20. Coretta Scott was an American author, activist, civil rights leader, and an advocate for African American equality. She was also a singer who often incorporated music into her civil rights work. Who was the husband of Coretta Scott? The answer is Martin Luther King Jr. Alright, that is it for today's trivia quiz. Thank you guys for watching. If you're not familiar with question number 12, the story of Isadora Duncan, I wasn't either. It popped up while I was doing some reading online. Very interesting story. You should look it up. Probably not as interesting to some as it was to me, but the interesting thing was the way she died. She was a passenger in a brand new convertible. I think they were driving out in the countryside in Nice, France, and it was back in 1927. She leans back. She's got a huge red scarf on, and she leans back in this convertible, and the huge scarf gets caught in the rear wheel, and it wraps around there and actually pulls her out of the car and tightened around her neck and strangled her to death. That was how she died. So very famous, lives a very famous life, and then goes out like exactly the way you would end a movie or something crazy like that. I just thought that was the craziest story. And then there's this movie that now I need to see. I think it came out in 1968. So I don't know if that part is in the film, but I'm going to have to watch it just to find out, because I thought that was a crazy way to die. Anyways, here's question 21 on a happier note. Here's question 21, the tiebreaker for today. Food to nibble on, like cheese, cured meats, crackers, and olives. In Italian, what is the name of the course ordered before the meal? The course before the meal is called antipasto. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Antipasto is the course before the meal in Italian. Thank you guys for watching. It's Friday. Have a wonderful night. Have a great weekend. I will see you tomorrow.